you know that this country is just a corporation? A police state that won't tolerate insubordination? Did you know your birth certificate is just a receipt? You were born on a tax farm, isn't it sweet? They brainwash you with the TV, then enslave you with debt. I see people oblivious and it makes me upset. So listen all, this is my call for an uprising. It's time to brawl because we've all had enough lying. Not done trying, but fuck crying, it's time to act. I see everyone waking up, but no one fighting back. We're in a state of emergency, how we live is absurd to me currently. They're about to crash US currency. Problem, reaction, solution, the oldest trick in the book. Been trying to tell you about it, no one would give it a look. Now the new world order is right around the corner. We're living in the last days, time is getting shorter. This is the land of the greedy and the home of the slaves. It's on the back of dollar bills getting thrown in your face. But most people are too stupid to even understand. I welcome you to the divided states of zombie land. This is the land of the greedy and the home of the slaves. It's on the back of dollar bills getting thrown in your face. But most people are too stupid to even understand. I welcome you to the divided states of zombie land.
You've been messing with some delicate minds. It's a deception, everything that you've been fed was a lie. Be careful with the medicine that you have just been prescribed. It's the devil and he wants you if you're dead or alive. Look, suggestive thinking's got you a victim of this suicide. And you've been blinded by the invisible prison that you have been doing time in. You're entitled to the truth you think that you've acquired, and the conditioning's what makes you violent with the refusal bias. In zombie land, where we poison our water, we feed you lies about the wars and then reward you for slaughter. And boy, it gets darker, the FDA just pulls you in farther with poisoning toxins in food and even more from the doctors. You could either wake up and just think for yourself, beginning by questioning everything education and media tells you, or you can stay asleep, remain in critical health, and fend for yourself in the prison of the material realm. Let's get it.
This is the land of the greedy and the home of the slaves. It's on the back of dollar bills getting thrown in your face. But most people are too stupid to even understand. I welcome you to the divided states of zombie land. This is the land of the greedy and the home of the slaves. It's on the back of dollar bills getting thrown in your face. But most people are too stupid to even understand. I welcome you to the divided states of zombie land. I welcome you to the divided states of zombie land.
What's good, everybody? Let me get a mic check. Let me get a flat power if my audio is good. Hey, shout out to ODD for that truth music. How y'all doing today? Hey, how's the audio? Okay, I'm good. Cool. Yeah, man, I guess at some point we'll open up the panel. I was watching this little clip again because I was saying to myself, how much of what they saying are they rubbing in our face of flat earth truth? But when I started listening to this clip, I just went somewhere else with it, and I was like, damn, this is like the epitome of pseudoscience. So what I'm about to share with y'all today, right? Little clip from Mikhail Kaku, right? And basically this clip gonna show y'all how all of the science we've been given is theoretical bullshit based out of science fiction. Now, most of us already know that, but here's just some more information and evidence to support that. We already know that satellites and all of the things we've been given as true today was once science fiction. And there's no proof of these things. That's the simple stuff. But let's just talk about some other things that we hear thrown around these scientific communities a lot. Shout out to Link to the Chain. What's up, family? You get my last email in regards to 666. No, I haven't checked my emails. I'm sorry about that. But I will be checking it and I will be responding. Sorry about that. I'll go and check into that. Yeah, this here, man, it's going to give y'all a headache, I'm telling you. These guys are not scientists. They're pseudoscientists. And it's a shame that the shit coming out of these guys' mouth is what's being taught as fact today. And people will come argue you down about this shit. You even got people say they atheists. You got people say they non-religious come up to you say, man, I'm all about the facts. And then they come up to you talk about diamond planets and all of this shit. So if it's based upon belief and theory, it's scientism. If you can't prove it on a miniature scale and a macro scale, it's scientism. Science can be proven on a micro and macro. It's factual. The experimenter always get the same results. But theoretical science can't be proven. It can only be believed by those who believe these imposters that we about to expose today. Now let me play this damn video, y'all, because y'all know I'm going to get crunk.
Extra dimensions is front and center in the scientific world. No longer just science fiction.
Hold up.
Understand how it works.
Hold up a second. Whoever put this up here is very, very low audio. Shout out to Brandon David, man. And shout out to the HOTC. Peace and love, my brothers. Shout out to y'all. I'm going to open up the panel in a minute, Brand. This going to be a little casual, just fun. We just really flat power versus the pseudoscientists. I'm going to have to do some raw audio here, and y'all can kind of let me know how we looking on the audio in the chat. Because whoever put this up here, it was a real low audio. So let's try some on the mixer board.
Meet your extra dimensions is front and center in the scientific world. No longer just science fiction. I want to understand how it works.
So you got to understand how all of our science are given to us. All of our theoretical concepts and the foundations of all of our science was first rooted in science fiction. It was first science fiction at first, before it became scientific theory. None of it is scientific fact. That's the thing. It's a world based upon a bunch of theories, creating a virtual reality for a lot of you believers out there who still don't know that you're trapped inside of a religion called scientism. These are your preachers, Neil deGrasse Tyson's, Mikhail Kaku. Listen to every word coming out of their mouth. Let's play this back.
Meet your extra dimensions is front and center in the scientific world. No longer just science fiction. I want to understand how it works in string theory, in fundamental physics, and then potentially in cosmology in large extra dimensions. So how significant is this in our understanding?
Let me tell you a story. When I was a child growing up in San Francisco area, I used to visit a Japanese tea garden and visit the carp swimming just beneath the lily pads in a two-dimensional pond. I used to spend hours looking at them. They would swim forward, backward, left and right. Their eyes were to the side, and they couldn't see me. I was in the third dimension. I was in hyperspace. They were totally unaware that there was a universe beyond their pond. And then I thought, well, what happens if I reach down and grab one of the fish, lift the fish up? Maybe that fish was a scientist, and the scientist would say, bah, humbug, science fiction, there's no world of up. Up does not exist. Well, I would grab this scientist, lift them up in the world of up, hyperspace, the third dimension. What would he see? He would see beings breathing without water, a new law of biology. Beings moving without fins, a new law of physics. And then I would put the fish back into the pond. What kind of stories would he tell? Well, today, we physicists believe, we cannot prove it yet, but we are the fish.
And that's the thing. I give him that much credit. He said we physicists believe, we cannot prove it yet. Problem is, you'll get knucklehead globalists up here talking like it's been proven, like it's factual. Because when you put these beliefs out there from professionals, they become religious. And we know that the religions and their belief systems been going to war and arguing and debating for years. So these people know what they're doing. They don't have to put it out there as fact. Once they say that belief, all serious, and these are the people that's in a position to give us the facts, but they never give us the facts. They only give us their beliefs. So what are we to do with those beliefs but go in and say, hey, do you believe it or not? That's the dialectic. That's the Hegelian dialectic. Ripley's do you believe it or not? Ain't that's what Christians say to you? The first thing they say, hey man, do you believe in Jesus? Because I gotta take you to this world first. In order for me to take you to this make-believe world, you got to believe in it. I can't apply my law to you in your right reality and your right mind. In other words, in order for a magician to fool you, they got to take you away from reality first. They got to get you into la-la land or belief land. This is why it's called a magician, because they got to get you into the imaginary land or the imagination land. The root word of imagination is magi, which is magician. So what these guys do is what the pastors do. They get you into a belief world, an imaginary world. I was in it before. I believed in streets of gold, men walking water, resurrecting people from the dead, coming back to save me on clouds. And my happiness wasn't rooted in this world. As a Christian, my happiness was rooted in this make-believe world that was created for me in this imaginary book. And I shared this make-believe world with a whole bunch of people who believed in them streets of gold and the men walking on water too. We all had some in common. We believed in the world that wasn't here. But that world that we believed in that wasn't here dictated all of our actions here. That's the dangers of it. All of us Christians was believing in a make-believe world that really wasn't real. It was in our mind. We was making it up. It was in a book, fairy tale. But our belief in that world that's not tangible, that's not here, dictated our physical, real reality. So this is deep stuff. This is a theoretical world that these pseudoscientists have created for you, a virtual reality that's built upon consensus and belief. Worlds that are not here, things we can't prove. He just told you they can't prove it, so no globalist can argue with me. He just said it. These things can't be proven, they're only believing. And when you get so many people believing it with you, you can start funding programs for it. You can start writing it off as fact because of consensus. And this is how our science been going on for years, y'all. We got to wake up. They got entire programs based upon imaginary concepts of so-called physicists and pseudoscientists. But they got real programs now hurting your children's pockets. They got real programs taxing your motherfucking ass. But the shit he's talking about, he just told you is make-believe. Let me rewind this for y'all.
What kind of stories would he tell? Well, today, we physicists believe. We cannot prove it yet.
What if your pastor started creating taxation and programs to tax your kids based upon his goddamn beliefs? Shit he can't prove yet. You heard what this dude just said, but yet this what's going on with us. Now the crazy thing about what I just said is this, right? Back when the church was ruling the world, they did tax you. They did come with all kind of laws and enforce them on you and your kids based upon your motherfucking belief. See how dangerous your stupid beliefs is? This man just told you that these are beliefs. They haven't proved none of this yet, but yet they spending all this money on programs as if the shit real. Let me keep playing this for y'all.
But we are the fish. We spend all our life in 3 dimensions. We go forward, backward, left, right, up, down, thinking that anything beyond our pond, anything beyond our little puny universe is science fiction. We say, bah, humbug. We can't say that anymore because the concept of higher dimensions now is the biggest game in town. You see, in 3 dimensions, there's not enough room to put all the laws of physics.
He said in 3 dimensions, there's not enough room to put all the laws of physics. Yet in our reality, we see all the laws of physics at play. Oh my God. Y'all see why this shit is ridiculous and it's hard for me? How does he get to make all that money and be this stupid? Could it be because the world that dumbed down and he know it? Did you hear what he just said? Listen, people, listen.
You see, in 3 dimensions, there's not enough room to put all the laws of physics.
Did you hear that stupidity? Did you just hear that stupidity? I want to hear that. You know what? I can't even call that stupidity. We got to make up some new future shit for that. That's stupoistrous. Some new shit. That's stupefied. That's what that's the art of stupism. That's what that is. Let's listen to it again. Y'all are listening to the art of stupism. Don't none of the shit make no sense. That's why you got to move your goddamn hands like you doing magic. Listen to this stupoistrous comment.
There's not enough room to put all...
Let me rewind this damn stupefied statement one more time.
You see, in 3 dimensions, there's not enough room to put all the laws of physics.
Got to be a fool. In 3 dimensions, there ain't enough room to put all the laws of physics like a fool. And he making all the money. Oh man, that is the art of stupefaction. Oh, who got another stupid word? Put your best stupid word in the chat. I said stupism. I think he's stupiding people. We can make that shit a verb. Man, he ain't dumbing them down. He's stupiding their ass. God damn it. You got to think of a word just as stupid as the statement. God damn. He said it ain't enough space in 3-dimensional space to see all the laws of physics, y'all. Y'all, come on now. In other words, think about what he's saying, y'all. This is why in their science, you cannot mirror their macro with the micro. That's what he brainwashing you, telling the dumbasses. He telling you, see, in our little 3-dimensional space, we can't reenact this shit. You got to be in hyperspace. What the fuck is hyperspace? Now you go to the ghetto, you see a lot of hyper children. And they behaving real hyper and they fidgety. But I ain't never saw no hyper child but behaving in hyperspace. You only get this kind of stupism from pseudoscientists like this who know that the world dumbed down. What the fuck is hyper? See, he finna take you away from reality and now it put you into hyperspace. What the fuck? We need to put that shit on Ritalin. We need to put hyperspace on some goddamn Ritalin and calm hyperspace the fuck down. How it get to be where non-hyperspace at? Y'all, listen, the man said, you can't see all the laws of physics in 3-dimensional space. In other words, you can't see water turn into a vapor and then the vapor go back to a snowflake and all over again. Dude, you see all the laws of physics in 3-dimensional space, but people who don't know what he's talking about, who just listening to somebody sound smart and move their goddamn hands like they breaking up some damn Play-Doh or something. See, that's how they get you with them hands. They always doing their hands together like they goddamn, playing a puppet, moving a puppet or some shit. And he sounds smart, but when you listen to it, he's a dumbass. This is stupoistrous. This is stupoistrous. What the fuck is hyperspace? Now, he got to take your ass away from reality because his pseudoscience don't make no sense when you go outside. Let's listen to some more of this shit.
But when you go to this larger pond,
Let's take it back, man. This is ridiculous.
In 3 dimensions, there's not enough room to put all the laws of physics. But when you go to this larger pond, this part of hyperspace, then all the laws of physics just fit together like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, when you suspend everything in this black ass void of darkness, everything fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. Now this is hyperspace, people. Here go pictures of hyperspace. See, this is what supposedly what our cosmos is. Remember, the Big Bang exploded from a point of singularity and threw all of these little light worlds off into the distance, and eventually they're gonna get so far apart that you're gonna be in darkness, basically. And you see, instead of him just saying, hey man, we can't explain this shit on Earth, but it sound good, they just say, hey y'all, none of this stuff makes sense in three-dimensional reality, but it makes sense in hyperspace. And lo and behold, what is hyperspace? Let me show y'all how you being dumbed down. Pay the hell attention now. What is hyperspace? Read. God damn it, free your mind. Hyperspace, a noun, space of more than 3 dimensions. No shit. But listen, in science fiction, a notional space-time continuum in which it is possible to travel faster than light. See, this is what he talking about right here. See, think about it. Think about this, right? We know what a hypercube is. We know that there are sacred geometrical spaces that exist within this space that occupy this same space and time that's composed of more than 3 dimensions. In fact, if you zoom into a microscope, you will see a sort of a 2-dimensional world. And in that world, you would be looking in at it from a flat perspective, but everything in that world is 3-dimensional. What Mikhail Kaku is not telling you is there's no such thing as nothing but 3 dimensions. Anything you perceive in the distance from 3-dimensional, you perceive it as higher dimensions or lower dimensions. But if you were to go into those dimensions, you would perceive them as 3rd dimension, just like you perceive here. So so to understand what I'm telling you, open your mind and listen to this. Think of going to the ocean. You perceive the entire ocean as a flat blue carpet, as a flat rug. You perceiving it as a human standing up at the beach as this flat giant body of water with a flat surface. But when you get into it, it's 3-dimensional. There are fishes going up, down, left, right, under rocks. There's bubbles. There's different gases. There's even fire under the water. There's the sun actually reaches them. They have a sunset just like we have in the water. There's a horizon under the water for the fish. So the fish look up at the surface of the water like we look up at the stars. They don't know what's up there, just like we don't know what's up above the stars. But you can't start making up shit and calling it hyperspace. That's why he said we believe. That's the problem I have. This is what they painting to you, saying, hey, this is what's behind the stars and we got it all figured it out. And they don't have shit figured out. In fact, the Most High didn't intend for you to unravel the mysteries of these realms while in the flesh. So, just because he got his hands like 2 claws clamping together, that don't mean he know everything. I know he looks smart, but hyperspace is science fiction coming from someone who is a admitted science fiction fan. So if Mikhail Kaku is a science fiction fan giving you hyperspace, which is science fiction, as we can see here, hyperspace is a science fiction concept. It had its roots, it was birthed in science fiction. Now, scientists are starting to say, wait a minute, this ain't science fiction. This is real science. And what you got to realize what's going on is all of your science is science fiction. Everything's, let me show y'all something. Let me show you something real quick. Let me just show you something real quick. All of your science is science fiction. Check this out. Don't you know satellites used to be science fiction? satellites floating around in space used to be science fiction. You used to read them in science fiction books. They had science fiction movies about satellites. And then all of a sudden they said, wait a minute, y'all. We actually got satellites now floating in space, and they gave you this. It's still science fiction. This is fake as fuck, y'all. Open your eyes, I'm begging you, globalists, please. You can't find a real picture of none of this shit. You can't find a real picture of the globe. You can't find a real picture of no goddamn hyperspace. You can't find a real picture of the Milky Way. But they said they got it. They said they went back and snapped a picture of the Milky Way. You ain't no damn Milky Way. All of this shit is science fiction. And then it's later incorporated into science when they get enough dumbasses to agree with it with consensus. Don't y'all know that the science community is birthed in the fucking conscious community? Everything that we talk about in the conscious community, they start adopting in science years later as fact. That's why this shit is a cult, but they taking it and watering it down. They coming with symbols, right? For example, when you look at this satellite, that's a symbol for Ma'at with her wings spread. She holds the secrets of the darkness. When you start studying string theory and Neith and Nut, Ma'at, start studying balance, then you start studying the mysteries of the cosmos, because it's all based upon divine balance. So think about what I'm telling you. What we're calling satellites, how many of you ever saw one with your real eyes? Never. You only believe in it. Science ain't based upon belief, but science fiction is. Scientism is. And that's what we're trying to wake you up from. You haven't had real science. You've been in an illusion of science fiction, scientism. Now, satellites was once science fiction. And now they said, well, satellites real now. And here go the pictures of it. And you still pass this off as real. It's still science fiction. It's just better art. It's just better computer images. Here go the satellites they give you. Pull up NASA satellites. It ain't no real pictures. Let me pull it up now. Find me a real picture of a real satellite in space. I'll give you $1 million. You can't do it. All of this shit is science fiction. Us flat earthers trying to wake y'all ass up. All of this shit is computer, CGI. Look at this fake shit. It's all belief. Science fiction is belief, but science is not. Flat earth is science. The globe, science fiction, people. We're trying to wake you up. Even this man told you that the shit is belief and that it ain't proven. So you can't argue with Brother Sanchez. You got to have hyperspace if you're going to have the globe. If he telling you that hyperspace is a belief or theoretical concept, what the fuck you think the globe is? If you cut the tree at the roots, it ain't no damn tree. Come on, people. If my daddy didn't exist, you think I'll be sitting here talking to you? Hell no. Please open your mind, globalists. He just told you hyperspace is a theoretical concept. It's not a fact, it's a belief. So what you think the globe is and everything else and gravity and all the rest of the stuff is science fiction. If the globe exists within hyperspace and hyperspace ain't real, then come on, I mean, it don't take come on, wake up, people. If the globe exists within hyperspace and hyperspace ain't real, come on now, people. Open up your minds out there now.
In our 3 dimension, the laws of physics are there. We can explain things, but there are lots of pieces that seem to be random, that you have to enter constants by hand, and so you might have 30 or so constants of physics and more in cosmology, and they look like they all have nothing to do with one another.
That's right. I like to think of a crystal. Let's say a beautiful crystal shatters and lands on a tabletop. And the little insect-like flatlanders living on this tabletop. and they say, let us...
See, that's a subconscious insult. Flatlanders, shut your dumb ass up. Flatlanders ain't made sense yet, but you getting all the money. Ain't made sense yet. Everything the man, and look here, all of his books ain't shit but pseudoscience and damn science fiction. Look at all of this shit. You ought to laugh at this shit. Listen, he laughing at you now. This man laughing at y'all. Listen, look at the title of this book now. People, please look at the title of this book now. He laughing at y'all dumbasses. Physics of the impossible. If it's impossible, it ain't no damn physics for it. They laughing at you now. Oh my God, this job get hard, and I'm not making as much as these imposters now. You better open your mind and see that the joke's on you. Now, his book called Physics of the Impossible, that's a joke on you. You know he sold millions of copies of that damn bullshit. And when you open it up, he talking a bunch of pseudoscience about space bending around itself and warping around orbital fields. And, you know, get the fuck out of here, man. It's the equivalent of watching a sci-fi movie, but you're reading it in a novel. You're interviewing the author. And y'all call that shit science? You know how many copies of this pseudoscience book, pseudoscientific book he sold? Physics of the Impossible. Why would you buy some shit like that? That's a joke. That's a joke. That's like me selling you a book called How to Make Sense Out of the Senseless. If it's senseless, you can't make sense out of it, you idiots. Oh my God. Flat power, man. Flat motherfucking power. Oh, I can't do it without y'all. It get hard if I ain't got a squad, man. It's us versus the world. It's us versus the motherfucking world. The physics of the impossible, people. And look what his buddy got now. They laughing at you dumb globetrotters now. He got the inexplicable universe. They laughing at y'all dummies. If it's inexplicable, how the fuck is this a 2-hour damn series? It's the same thing that the pastor doing. He getting up there preaching for 2 hours about talking snakes and men walking on water. You can't really explain this in 3 dimensions. Only way that what the pastor's saying makes sense if he explain it in the spiritual realm. See, when you go to church, they take you away from reality and they have to put you into a realm where it's possible for people to walk on water. See, in this make-believe realm of the Christian system and the Muslim system, you know, anything, you got talking snakes, you got men being resurrected from the dead, but that's possible in the land of religion, a system of beliefs. It's possible. Now, we know we can't go outside and see a nigga walking on water, and even a Christian will tell you, don't be stupid, don't think that. They'll tell you that that was possible in Jesus' time. And when they say Jesus' time, that's another way of saying that's only possible in hyperspace. In other words, Jesus' time, heaven, the spiritual space, the 5th dimension, hyperspace, all of these places is just places that the magician got to take you to do magic in, because his magic don't work in reality. Remember, Jack can climb up beanstalks in fairy tale land. That's possible, man. Fern Gully was a good movie. You had talking insects. You know, Mickey Mouse is a talking mouse, and that's true. Can't nobody tell me Mickey Mouse don't talk. That's true. In the 3 little bears, you had bears that was running a household. Mama bear, Papa bear, and a child bear. You had Goldilocks. Now, all of them bears was running a household. Them bears lived in a house and they had a kitchen. Now, in reality, bears live in the forest. But in fairy tale, okay, y'all get where I'm going here? It's still true though. You can't tell me that them bears didn't have a house, man. That's true. Did you read the book or is you dumb? Goldilocks existed. She was in the house of the three bears. Anybody saying it ain't true is a fool. Or they didn't read the book. See how this work, y'all? It's two different kind of truths here. It is true in literature. It ain't no lie. It is true that it's diamond planets out there. It is true that it's big old clusters of gas in this inexplicable universe. It is true in hyperspace only, not in reality. The science we deal with deals with reality, because that's the only kind of science that's useful to humanity. What use is a science that's dealing with the imaginary land? How can I help my children and power my house with a science that's only plausible or feasible in fucking hyperspace? And how the hell do we get to hyperspace? Because I want to go. So people, we gotta wake the hell up. Look at what they telling you, the physics of the impossible. Think about that, right? How can there be physics for something that's impossible? Think about it. It's impossible. So how can there be physics for it? Physics only govern the realm of possibility. When someone take you out of the realm of what's possible and start preaching to you about shit that's impossible, then they got to develop the physics for this impossible world. This is how you get sci-fi worlds. This is how your first imposters and magicians start creating all of these make-believe worlds, floating in darkness and all of these theoretical places, you know. It's still going on today, and y'all still being bamboozled by the magicians. All right, that's why I'm taking my time going in trying to wake you up. None of the stuff they talk about is possible in reality, and he just told you that. He said it ain't possible in reality, but in hyperspace it's possible. And hyperspace is another made up place that they made up what they can put these impossible concepts within. It's a big scam. They create the dumb impossible concept, and then they create the space to put the concept in. They create all the mechanics and mechanisms to describe how the dumb concept would work, such as a diamond planet or a water world. They create the physics for the impossible. That's what they do. Because the cosmos that they give you, diamond worlds and clusters and all of that shit, you never saw it. It's all belief. You believe them because them your pastors, they your preachers. Just like the Christian never saw heaven, but he believed the pastor though, that it's streets of gold and people hovering around. It's all belief. It's all, y'all, you got to break the spell. The world they creating for you with the heliocentric cosmos is an impossible world. But with consensus, when you get a bunch of people believing in the impossible, then you got to start teaching the impossible in school. Therefore, you got to create a math to describe the impossible. You got to create equations that would describe how a diamond planet would work. You got to create the physics to describe how water would bend. And this is the birth of pseudoscience. Science that describes the impossible. Science that only makes sense when we leave the earth. Science that you can't duplicate on a micro. This is not the science of the ancestors, and this is the science that got us in a walk. This is the science that's robbing your children. This is the science that's making chemtrails okay. This is the science that's making vaccinations okay. This is the science that's making transhumanism okay. This is the science that's making a space force okay. This is the science that's making cloning okay. This is the science that's making GMO food okay. And don't nobody give a fuck, because why? He sounds smart. His suit look good. He got to know what he talking about. Look at the way he moving his hands. Look at the way he preached to me and described the impossible to me. Just like a pastor with a $1,000 robe on. Looking good and sounding good, but ain't saying a goddamn thing. Y'all ought to get tired of it, yo. You ought to get tired of it. These people saying that they got physics of the impossible. People, they laughing at you and your children. Your children going to school, wasting 12 years of their life. They get physics of something impossible. They get laughed at. They still be a slave. What use is the science to the world if I can't apply it outside? If I can only apply it in fucking hyperspace, then why don't we move to hyperspace? Give us the science that's applicable to our children to build a better future for themselves. Not the shit that's only from a sci-fi science fiction. Oh my God, and this is the shit. He's getting paid millions of dollars and he's a scientist. When all of this stuff is science fiction, you got one of them telling you he giving you the physics of the goddamn impossible. Then you got another knucklehead telling you he gonna explain an inexplicable universe. So Brother Sanchez gonna write a book called How to Make Sense Out of the Senseless. Y'all some, ooh, we people, we so dumbed down today that I think I was born on the wrong. God damn it, please, y'all. Ooh, it got to be somewhere up out of this shit. Oh, man, we so lost and it's scary. Let me tell you something. The ancestors said reincarnation was real, but I'm going to tell you something. I love this place. It's a beautiful place. Ooh, wee, boy. But I tell you, I don't look forward to coming back. There's got to be somewhere where people thinking like us, man. This is a fucking zombie land. What is this? And where did the ancients go? I want to go with them. I know they didn't go to hyperspace. We know they didn't go to motherfucking hyperspace.
Insect-like flatlanders living on this tabletop. And they say, let us reassemble the crystal. Well, they bring it together.
With his ugly nose ass. Look at his nose.
And then they have one crystal. It's called the quantum theory. They assemble other pieces of the crystal. It's called relativity. Theory of space-time. But then they try to bring these two chunks together and they cannot. No matter how they bring these chunks together, they cannot. And then one day, someone says, let us go to the world of up. Let us move one crystal up and then fit it into the third dimension.
Now, I'm telling you, y'all, the shit he's saying don't make no fucking sense. And you as a normal person would listen to that shit and it won't make no sense to you. And guess what you will do? You'll be like, man, I need to go to school. Man, I'm dumb. I'm ignorant. Shout out to Micaiah Kaku because he's so smart. No, man. The shit don't make sense because it don't make sense. Not because he's so smart and you dumb. None of this shit he's saying make no damn sense. And he's a magician hypnotizing your ass. He don't got a wand in his hand because he using a different kind of wand. He using sleight of hand. He using both of his hands to sound and look smart. Look at his hands right now. Look at his hands, man. He just made a fucking little jar with his hands. And it looked like a spiral. I'm just fucking with y'all. But that's what I'm saying. These dudes got to sit there and move their hands all extra to say this dumb shit If he just sat there and not moved and sat still and just looked you dead in your eyes and didn't move his hands at all, you'll bust out laughing. You'll be like, Mikhail, quit playing, man. This is some dumb shit you talking about, dude. Quit playing. And he'll bust out laughing with you. He'll be like, I know, dude. Pass the fucking blunt. You know I'm just bullshit. But yo, that's dope though, right? He know that shit don't make no sense. But see, I'm telling you, if you take the hands away and he just sit still and don't move and just look you in your eyes, you'll laugh at that shit. But you being distracted by them hands now. I'm telling you, this is magic now. Watch this shit. Watch this shit. Watch the hands with it now. This
of space-time. But then they try to bring these two chunks together and they cannot. No matter how they bring these chunks together, they cannot. And then one day, someone says, let us go to the world of up. Let us move one crystal up and then fit it into the third dimension, and it will create a beautiful unified crystal. That's where we are today, we think. We live in a three-dimensional world. We see pieces. We see the electromagnetic force. We see gravity. We see nuclear force. Little pieces of this unified field theory.
We don't see no damn theories. We don't see no gravity. We don't see no little pieces of nothing but bullshit coming out of your mouth. Now, I know that room stanky because y'all know the theory what I got. Everybody got theories. I got a theory. Anybody can have one. Here's my theory. If you talk a lot of bullshit, your breath stinky. If you tell a bunch of lies, your breath stink. You need to keep you some Listerine strips in your goddamn pocket, and every time you tell a little lie, just pop one of them motherfuckers.
We bring them together. Now we have the theory of the quantum theory, the theory of the small, the theory of atoms. We have the theory of Einstein, the theory of space, time, relativity, but they don't fit together.
You know why they don't fit together? Because they theories, they bullshit. Doo-doo don't stick together neither. Y'all listen to me now. He just told you don't none of that shit fit together. Oh my God. I'm joking because if I don't laugh, I'ma cry. Man, I can very well just bust out in tears the fact that, y'all, this is science today. Listen to what he's telling you and open your mind. Listen what this man telling you. He getting your money now, your tax money. Pay attention to how he deceiving your ass. I want you to listen to how he conclude on this so you can go and debunk space from the root. If you debunk hyperspace, you debunk it all. Can't none of these theories exist without hyperspace. And I told you what hyperspace is. It's a theoretical space. This ain't regular space. Because some of the theories that's made up in hyperspace supersede regular space. In other words, you got layers upon layers of bullshit. Now listen to this shit.
Time, relativity, but they don't fit together until you go into hyperspace.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Don't none of these theories make sense, y'all, till you go into hyperspace. So for example, gravity don't make sense in 3 dimensions. Guess what? Don't we live in 3-dimensional space? Shouldn't gravity make sense in 3-dimensional space if gravity is the foundation of the entire cosmos? Think about what I'm saying, right? He just told you out his mouth. I didn't say it. He said none of these theories fit together with our reality. None of these theories even fit together with each other, with themselves. He said none of them theories fit until you go to hyperspace. This is a theoretical la-la land. Like I said, tooth fairies don't fly in reality. But when you go to Walt Disneyland, tooth fairies fly. I never heard a damn mouse talk. But when you go to Walt Disneyland, Mickey Mouse talk. It's true in Walt Disneyland. And it's all of this shit he making up is true in hyperspace, not reality. We trying to get you motherfuckers back to reality. That's what us Flat Panthers trying to do to you. Wake your ass up and get the hell out of hyperspace. That man just told you none of these theories make sense until you get to hyperspace. That's why it's so easy to debunk gravity. God damn it now. You never saw water hold the shape of a ball in your house. Go in your kitchen and try to reduplicate it. You can't. You can't go nowhere on earth and see water suspended in space, hovering, holding the shape of a perfect sphere. You can't bring up raindrops because that ain't what the fuck we're talking about. We talking about a glob of water suspended in space. If you didn't know, that's why it's called a globe. It's called a globe because it's a glob, not a droplet. Let me repeat that for you globe heads, because y'all obviously don't know why it's called a globe. It's called a globe because it's a globlet or a glob. In other words, a booger is a glob. It's a globular shape. So they call it a globe, but it's not a drop. A drop is different from a glob. We're talking about a glob of water suspended in space. Reduplicate that in your house. I want to see it. The day you do that, the day you will be the richest scientist on earth, because then gravity will no longer be a theory, it'll be a fact. But that has never been duplicated in our reality. That's why Mikhail told you these theories only make sense in hyperspace. And what is hyperspace? Let me show you. See, this is what they got the little blue ball in, remember? The earth is suspended in hyperspace. Remember that, right? You travel through hyperspace and then you approach our galaxy and then you approach our planet. All of it is within hyperspace. But the reason it's called hyperspace is because when you travel in hyperspace, you can only travel it at speeds that's faster than light. Otherwise, you ain't getting nowhere. Hyperspace is so huge that the little units of measurement that we use to travel here, it like if you say, hey, I just went 1,000,000 miles. If you went 1,000,000 miles in hyperspace, that's less than an inch because the vastness of it, you know. So that's why when they show you hyperspace, they show you the light like you moving real fast, because in order for you to travel through hyperspace, you got to be in a vehicle that travels faster than light. This is how they came up with Star Trek. Remember that the Enterprise travels through hyperspace. So they giving y'all sci-fi for science, and you ought to be goddamn it mad, man. Look at how they got that light moving like you moving real fast. See how they got the light moving like that? Now check this out, right? This is what they was telling you with the Enterprise. See how they got it moving like it's shooting away? Shout out the eyes open finally. The Enterprise, I was a Star Trek fan, so I can tell you about hyperspace. It's science fiction, people. It don't exist. But I never put two and two together till I became a flat earther. Like, hold up, wait a minute. If hyperspace is science fiction, then the globe is science fiction, because you can't have galaxies. You can't have clusters and all of this stuff coming from a big bang without hyperspace. Now, I was taught hyperspace was science fiction, but Mikhail said, no, it's not science fiction. We're finding out it was always science. No, buddy. We finding out science was always science fiction and that we've been lied to. They know we waking up and they trying to flip the script. They trying to say, hey, we finding out science fiction is really science. No, buddy. We finding out science was really science fiction. That's what's really happening. They trying to flip it, y'all. So Star Trek was science fiction. Now they telling you, now they going to be teaching your children in the future, hey, we're developing technology with NASA that's going to let us move at hyperspeed so we can travel hyperspace. And guess what? We're going to have to increase the tax budget and we can build a dang on vehicle that can travel these light worlds at hyperspeed. And we're going to be like, yeah, that's cool. Take taxes up. Take some more of our money. Yeah, take some more of our rights away. Yeah, that's cool. So we can get more motherfucking paintings and animations and sci-fi drawings. Yeah, because that's all it takes is a bunch of people believing them. And guess what? They got the motherfucking Star Trek Enterprise. All they got to do is show you a picture of it built out of metal, then show you animations of it moving in hyperspace, and people will be like, man, the Enterprise is real. They saying that shit about the ISS. Let me show you the ISS, right? The International Space Station. People say this real. And it's the same thing as Star Trek Enterprise, drawing, science fiction. Flat earthers are trying to wake the world up from a matrix, y'all. You live in a virtual reality. Ain't none of this shit real. All of this is CGI, y'all. This is fake. Damn it, man. I'm gonna keep saying it till I die. It's fake, 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 fake. God damn it. I'm gonna keep saying it. This shit is fake. And if it was a real ISS, I could find a real picture of it. Now, when I be able to find a damn real picture of it? You gonna tell me this real, but you ain't never saw it. You believe in it. But if I told your ass, right, that the Star Trek Enterprise was real, you'll laugh at me. You'll laugh at me. You'll say, man, brother Sanchez is dumb as fuck. He think the Star Trek Enterprise really real. But your dumb ass think the ISS really real. Both of them sci-fi. Both of them CGI, both of them animation, both of them belief, both of them pseudoscience. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man, you'll tell me that's fake, right? I'm trying to wake you up. I'm trying to wake you up. Me and a lot of more flat earthers, and we get laughed at just like the ancients did. Now look here, people. I'm trying to free your mind from the deception. It's in your fucking mind. Earth ain't turning. It ain't moving, damn it. Now look at the picture in front of you. Look at it. It's beautiful art. It's beautiful science fiction, but it ain't real. Jack and the Beanstalk had beautiful artwork in it. The Beanstalk went way to the sky. The little bear's house was a little beautiful little cottage, little hut. Beautiful paintings. But it ain't real. It's a virtual reality created in your mind, Neo. In your mind, Neo. It's a virtual realm. It's a matrix. The laws of the matrix only applies within the matrix, but not in the real world. It only applies in hyperspace, but we just debunked hyperspace, so now your world is crashing down upon you, Neo. Your world is crashing upon you, Neo, and it hurts, Neo. But it's okay, that's what happened to all of us aboard Trinity, Neo. But wake your ass up. Truth hurts. When Neo woke up in the Matrix, they pricked him with all kind of needles. He ate nasty food. They put all of these holes in him. It wasn't no damn beautiful thing when Neo woke up. Go watch the movie. Truth hurts. But this is your world. It's a virtual reality made of green screen, CGI, illusion. It's science fiction and it's sold to you by preachers like Mikhail Kaku, Neil deGrasse Tyson. These are the ministers, the agents within the matrix that sell it to you, Neo. But it's time for you to wake up. I know I'm making somebody a flat earther today. Look at the pictures in front of you. Now look at these, right? A lot of globalists will tell you that this picture in front of you is real, man. They believe in it. None of us can know it is fact until we go up there, hover that high above the earth, and look at it with our eyes. You'll never do it. So this is science that's based upon belief, y'all. And science ain't supposed to be based upon no doggone belief. You believe the ISS, you believe it. It don't, my belief don't mean shit when it comes to science. What you know? So a lot of people believe in the ISS and they think that real, but they think this picture in front of you is real. But then Brother Sanchez will show up and I say, hey, look at this. I show them this picture. I say, hey, there go the Earth in the background. There go the Star Trek Enterprise. I believe in the Enterprise. And they gonna laugh at me. Same shit now. Same damn thing now. The exact same shit, right? Ain't now one of them real. You got the ISS with the Earth in the background. Nobody walking this motherfucker never gonna see no vision like this in their life. But you believe this shit. You believe it. It ain't no difference than me looking at this damn beautiful artwork from Star Trek. NASA can give y'all this and say, man, this is some new technology we got, and y'all will say it's real. Same shit. It's the same shit. It's sci-fi. Sci-fi is believe, not fact. You don't gotta believe in no damn fact. You gotta believe in some shit that's inexplicable. How do you explain to a child how a damn woman get eaten whole by a wolf? And I'm explain to my child how Little Red Riding Hood got ate up by the wolf. I'm explain to my child how Jack climbed up the beanstalk above the clouds and started walking on the clouds talking to the giants. I'm explain that to my child like it's really real. How do you do that? That is the job of the physicists. That's the job of the astrophysicists. That's the job of Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's the job of Macau Cockhead, whatever his fucking name is. That's his job. To sit there and explain to a child how Jack going up the beanstalk walking in giant land is real. That's what the reverend do every Sunday. It's the reverend job to sit there and try to explain to this Christian how you putting your money in a pot gonna bring a blessing to your life. How you making this prayer up gonna make you rich. How a man really walked on water. How snakes really did talk. It's his job to stand up there every Sunday and explain the inexplicable. It's these imposters' jobs to create physics for some shit that's impossible. So when you ask the reverend, hey reverend, how Jesus walked on water? Because when I get in the bathtub and try to do it, I always sink. It's the reverend job to tell you, hey man, the Lord don't exist within this world with us. The Lord exists within this realm and hyperspace. The Lord was able to manipulate the elements around him and bend time and space to walk on that water. The Lord is not like regular humans. The Lord is supernatural. The Lord is able to walk upon the waters and not get wet. The Lord able to walk from coast to coast and get to one continent without a boat. And he can walk across from ocean to ocean because he the Lord. The Lord able to turn water to wine, but you can't. And you say, why, Reverend? You can't do it on this earth. You're going to be great when you get to heaven. When you get to heaven, you can do miracles. When you get to heaven, you got a street of gold. When you get to heaven, you got wings and you can fly. When you can get to heaven, your shit ain't going to stink. When you get to heaven, you don't need deodorant. It's the pastor's job to stand up there every Sunday and to sell you a make-believe world like it's real. Now, he got to create new physics for this shit now. Because we ain't never saw a motherfucker walk on water. So pastor got to come with it now. He got to come with it now. If he want to keep his job, he got to come with it now. So the pastor got to take you away from this world and get you tranced out into hyperspace. And they got the organ going. And they got the scriptures out there. And you can't tell my grandma Jesus ain't walk on that water. You can't tell my grandma he didn't. We talking about men who created fields of study, and they studying something impossible. How do you study that? You don't. You make up shit is whatever you say. But remember, whatever you make up, you gotta create some physics for it. If you tell them people it's a diamond planet up there, you got to explain high gravity making it be a perfect spill, and how it's going around nothingness, and how it's moving through hyperspace, and how these clusters don't crash into it, and how you can't live on a motherfucker unless you was a diamond human. Oh, and by the way, it only exists in hyperspace. We can't show you this shit on the earth. Like I said, the 3 bears and little Goldilocks only exist in literature. We can't show it to you in real life. Lazarus was resurrected. Jesus did walk on damn water in literature, not in real life. When you learn the difference between the two, then you will wake the hell up. And you will stop falling for these imposters just because they moving their goddamn hands like they gripping on some titties. Tired of this crap. He sit up there and say a bunch of dumb shit to you. And since you don't have the ability to critical think, you go for a hook, line, and sinker. He ain't doing that but fucking your mind. Look at his hands. Like I told you, all he gonna do is say a bunch of pseudoscience. He gonna say it like he's smart because he know you dumb. And he gonna keep on moving his hands like he feeling on some titties. You see? When you making up a lie, it's like rolling up pizza dough. And if you ever saw somebody roll up pizza dough, don't trip. When you go to Little Caesars, look behind the counter and watch the man rolling up the dough. His hands look just like this. Look at the man feeling on that lady, trying to fondle that lady breast. It's always the slicksters that's got their hands with this pizza dough. Like they see he molding together this big ass pizza dough, right? And that's when you building a lie, right? And you got to pick up all the damn particles of the lie and bring the lie together into a chunk. And it look like you're feeling on titties. But you're really just making up a lie. You can't see the lie because lies are invisible. But if I can give you some lie eyeglasses, you will see a big ass green ball in his hands. And that green stuff is the lie. You can't see it because it only exists in hyperspace. That's why you can't see the lie, you globalists. Not for my flat panthers, this for the globalists. This is an inside joke. They can't see the lie because the lie only exists in hyperspace. But if I give you these hyperspace goggles, you will see why he holding his hand like that. He holding up a big ass lie. Ooh, boy, that's a big lie in his hand. Put on your goggles and tell me, don't you see it? I'm going to start selling them motherfuckers. Hyperspace goggles. You put them on and you can see all the lies. Boy, I'm telling you, he's strong because he's holding up a big ass lie right now. You got to laugh. Hey, let's play a little bit more and then we'll open up the panel.
And then they fit together beautifully.
So when they fit together, what does that mean?
See, none of these lies make sense on their own. But when you put all of these lies together in hyperspace, then they make sense. But see, when you debunk hyperspace, you debunk the foundation of heliocentrism.
We now learn that we need 10 or 11 dimensions, only 3 of which, or 4 if you include time, that we have. And so there's as many as 6 smaller dimensions. And what's happening in those dimensions? Why do you need 6 in string theory?
Well, today
How the fuck he know? How the fuck he know? And the first thing he do is say, well, When a motherfucker start off, well, it's cause they thinking real quick. They gotta think of some shit real quick. Now while he think of the bullshit he gonna say, he gonna start pulling bullshit from out the air around him. That's why he moving his hands. Peep it, right? When he ask him the question, he gonna say, well, and he gonna start getting his hands ready to start reaching for this bullshit. Watch.
6 in string theory.
Well, today we see the world as is very broken. We see pieces of it. But at the beginning...
See, he had to clear his throat. He got some of that doo-doo in his throat. When you talking shit, every now and then you get somewhat clogged up, you get clogged up. That's why the dude made that song. Let me clear my throat. Have mercy, baby. I hope you don't mind. Let me clear my throat. He had to get that doo-doo out his throat. Now he talking too much shit to y'all. If you look at how much shit this man talking, we had 4 minutes in it. I'm surprised he just now happened to clear that shit now. You got to unclog some of that shit every now and then.
In those dimensions, why do you need 6 in string theory?
Well, today we see the world as is very broken. We see pieces of it.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of time, when the universe was first created, that's when the crystal existed in its perfect form. We call it the super force.
The super force. The super force. They can put super in front of anything and y'all will go with it. Just like they got super Earths. You see what I'm saying? They got super galaxies. They got super oxygen, super glue, Superman, super cars, super phones, super notebooks, super TVs, super salad, nigga. Super motherfucking salad, nigga. I'm telling you now. Super salad, nigga. Super everything. When you don't know what the fuck to say, you just put super in front of it because it's super stupid. He's super stupid. I think I'm going to get a shirt that says superfood. Got to be a superfood. Nigga, that's a hyperspace food. Superfood. You mean how you superimposing these damn images, creating damn the CGI world we live in, animations? That's about it. That's the only thing super I know is this, how they superimposing these damn images up there with that CGI. Now he got a super force. They got all of this shit to just say, because they just don't want to tell you the Most High, man. The Most High created this thing. It's a God or a goddess. It's an intelligence. And I love it. I love it. And I hate motherfuckers like him who deny it. Let me tell y'all something. Any society that attempts to unravel the mysteries of the creation while denying the existence of the creator will never obtain the secrets of the cosmos. That's from Brother Sanchez. You got to be a fool to think you gonna tell us something about the creation while denying that it is a creator. So since you want to deny that it's a creator, when you start trying to explain the creation, you sound like a fool. A super force. What the fuck is a super force and some hyperspace? It's easier to just say, hey man, it's an intelligent force that's making the sun go around the North Pole, that's making the moon go around the North Pole. It's an intelligent force that know when you put that seed in the ground to grow a tree. It's an intelligent force out there. He don't want you to know it's an intelligent force out there because he wants you to think he's motherfucking God. He wants you to think he's that intelligent force that know everything. That's why the questions that this man asking, only God can know. But he's answering them so fucking just so lovely. Like with his suit on and his hand movements, like breaking down the mysteries of the cosmos. I mean, when you really think about it, all he's doing is telling you how the creation was created. I mean, all he's doing is revealing to you the mysteries of life and the cosmos. I mean, and he's doing it over tea. you know, with a suit on in 11 minutes, you know. People, we got to wake the fuck up. He don't know. He's not God. How would he know? And how can he explain the mysteries of the creation, continuing to deny the existence of the Creator? When you do that, you will have a science that substitutes the Creator with theories. And the root word of theory is theo, which is God. So since you got rid of an intelligent Creator behind this creation, you got to substitute it with intelligent forces like gravity. That says, well, gravity pulling you to the earth. That's why you don't fly off into space. Well, why the hell it ain't pulling the helium balloon down? Well, because, you know, it's selective. It knows how hard to pull on it. Damn, this force got a brain? Sounds like God to me. Sounds like you misinterpreting the nature of God, of this intelligence behind this thing. It's not a theory, it's a fact. It's an intelligence behind this creation. They're denying it with all of these dumbass theories that don't make no sense. We debunking these theories. These theories are in place of the Creator. So instead of him saying that, hey y'all, this place was created by some greater than me and I don't have all the answers, you know, but we're going to keep on learning together. We're going to figure it out, you know, but this is a magical place. There's definitely a great Creator, you know, controlling the weather and everything. And we trying to figure it out. We trying to understand our Creator in this creation. Wouldn't science be beautiful if it was like that? Well, we knew, okay, off the bat, some created this. Then we start trying to figure it out while knowing we dealing with something intelligent here. Instead of trying to study science from a perspective of it was created from a mishap. It was created as a mistake. And we just trying to explain the inexplicable. No, motherfucker, you're trying to explain a creation while denying the Creator, so it don't make sense when you try to. That's just like if you see a newborn baby and people say, hey, this baby wasn't born. This baby never had a mom and daddy. How do you explain that? That's inexplicable. Everybody got a mom and daddy. But that's what the Bible do. It explains a virgin birth. So think about it. The world you see outside is beautiful. It's organized. It's intelligent. It's intricate. Something had to create this place. What science do, they try to explain a birth of a cosmos. They try to explain the birth of everything there is without a womb, without a Creator. That's like what the Christians and all the religions did with the Bible. There's no way if I'm looking at a human, you gonna tell me that that human didn't come from a mama and a daddy. Every human walking got a mama and a daddy, and the only way it don't is in religion, which is make-believe. So in other words, every creation got a Creator, except for the universe you believe in. You believe in a Big Bang created world, a mishap without a Creator. You walk outside and see this beautiful organized place and believe it came from the dumb shit this stupid fool's saying. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. These folks are trying to explain the creation without the Creator. And you can't do it. That's why he's telling you it's an inexplicable universe. That's why the man telling you physics of the impossible. They telling you that. And I just don't get how these folks can tell you that out their own mouth and you still get these folks come up here want to debate you. They telling you that they trying to develop physics for the impossible. When you got a bunch of million people believing in sci-fi and impossible concepts, the government gonna use it for their benefit. They gonna start putting it in the math books, in the science books, teaching it to your children. You think they gonna stop you when they benefit off your ignorance? So yeah, they gonna start developing equations to make diamond planets. They're going to start creating physics that would describe gas clusters and alcohol worlds and shit like that, you know, stupid shit. They're going to make sci-fi real if the people want it to be real. If you want to believe in it, and enough of us want to believe in it and give it life, then that's how we get the space program. That's how we get these millionaire authors selling all of these books, giving you physics of the impossible. Now, you can't apply this shit outside. You can't explain their universe because it's impossible to explain a creation without a creator. It's impossible. Just like I said, if you're looking at a human, you know it came from a mama and a daddy. You can't explain to nobody how this human got here without a mama and a daddy, other than going into sci-fi, cloning, and all of these forms of science, which start off as sci-fi. But we know they can't clone. They want to, but it's sci-fi. It's still sci-fi. You either believe in cloning or you don't. That ain't science. That's religion. You believe in Jesus or you don't. That's religion. So you got all of these concepts of an inexplicable universe, theories and hyperspace, pseudoscience, and you get that because with their model, with their universe, they excluded the creator. Now you got to explain to everybody how the fuck we get this intelligent creation without an intelligent creator, without a creator. And it's an art to doing that. It's very tricky. You can't do it, but you can blabber on and move your hands like you smart and entertain people. And at the end of it, it'll be perceived like you just broke something down. You really can't explain the shit. You can't explain a creation and exclude a creator. All creations have a creator, except for their universe. That's why they're telling you the inexplicable universe, the physics of the impossible. I hope y'all waking up, man. This is science fiction. All of it is animations and drawings, and it's time for y'all to break the spell. It's time to break the spell. And it's also time for me to open up the panel at this time. So let me go ahead and do that. Let's open the panel up. We heard enough of this guy. Me personally, I can't take no more. So I'm going to, I've debunked him enough, you know. I got him good. He can't bounce back from that L. Okay, so now we'll open up the panel and we'll let some of you brothers and sisters on. Because ain't no need to keep on, beating him up. He beat up pretty bad. We got to let him heal. We done a number on him. We done a number on him. We beat him up bad, boy. Flat motherfucking power. And they need it, man, because they know they charlatans. They know they imposters. And it's time for the people to wake the hell up. Let's open the panel up at this time. How about that? Put your email in the chat room. Come and join me on the panel. And we could talk about just about whatever. Hopefully we get some globalists on. Get some globe heads up here. We'll close out with y'all, brothers and sisters. We'll take the last hour to close out with y'all. You know how we do it. Put them emails in the chat. Let's chop it up. Let's catch up. If we don't get no emails, then we'll just close down for today. My brother Negroculus. Shout out to Vegan Warrior, man. Appreciate that, Vegan. Appreciate that, my brother. I had to get them, man, because they've been beating us up for years, taking our money and everything else. And the people ain't waking their ass up how easy this shit is to debunk when you just think about what they telling you. Stop looking at them like they smarter than you because he got a suit on and because he moving his hands, like I said, like he feeling on titties. None of that don't impress. Close your eyes and listen to these people and see how much sense they make. None. Shout out to Cat's Eyes. Shout out to my moderators. Shout out to my whole chat room. Shout out to the top Flat Earth. Shout out to HOTC, Sir Drop. I see you. I'm going to get you up here. Shout out to Flat Plane, Mr. P. Shout out to my brother Unique Unity. Shout out to Fatpay, Flat Earth people everywhere. And shout out to my brother Back to Your Roots Herbs. Let me get my people on the panel. Keep the emails coming. Listen, I'm going to shut my ass up, man. When I go in like that, I like to fall back, let the people come go in. Because everybody dropping motherfucking bombs. What they call it and what they call it. Oh, shit. Hold up a second. Hold up. My bad. I'm about to blow y'all eardrums up. We gonna run these. Oh yeah, I just thought about what they call it, y'all. You know, in court they said when they sentence you, how they can sentence a nigga concurrently, right? We gonna run these ass whoopings concurrently. So I just ran my ass whooping. Then we gonna get everybody up here. We gonna beat up on the globe till we get the globalists want to come out and play. Remember, we'll beat up your little brother to get your big brother out. He gonna have to come out and say, little brother. But we gonna run these ass whoopings concurrently. Shout out to the people on the panel. Hey, unmute y'all mic, man. It's a casual stream. We having fun. We cracking jokes. We being humorous. And we ain't holding back. Let me give a shout out to Glitch in the Matrix. Much love, my brother. Appreciate their support. Hey, anybody on the panel can hear me? Unmute your mic on the panel if you can hear me, just so I can make sure y'all audio.
Yeah, what's going on? Man, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling quite good, man, now that I done whipped up on Mikhail cockhead.
Yeah, that was funny when he was holding them titties, man. That was hilarious, man. Them damn, he was holding them damn titties like, oh, that was funny, bro. That was funny.
It looked like he was juggling balls. Oh shit. Hey y'all.
Yeah, that's how you know when they be lying.
You know they lying when they go to doing who talking move it? I move my hands, you move your hands. But come on now. Them niggas be so animated that shit is like sleight of hand. You know, and they all do it in a way like they trying to sound extra smart. They know the shit that the shit they saying don't make sense. That's why he says inexplicable. But they know where it don't make sense, you just gonna think you dumb. Flat Plane said, don't forget the Sumerian presentation. I got you, my brother. Matter of fact, that'll be the next one. I'm gonna do it on Bro Sanchez Live. But I just gotta gather some information. Give me some minute and we'll do it. But you know, I just think that's crazy, man, because they know the shit they saying sound good, but it don't make sense. And you gonna be like, damn, it sound good, but I don't get it. And you're gonna be like, man, well, I'm not a scientist. I'm not an astrophysicist. That's why I don't get it. No, you don't get it because they don't get it. It's stupid shit. They making it up.
Exactly. And a lot of folks, man, especially people, like you said, people who don't know better, just like doctors or whatnot, man, they take advice from people who they think smarter than them, but here they know their body better than what a doctor telling them, but they're gonna take advice from somebody who they think smarter than them and know them better than them. You know, that's a lot to do in this world.
Oh, you so right. And they got a whole industry of biological ignorance, man, to the fact where they stop healing humans. They just treating them now.
And it's too easy for them. I mean, we got the internet now. You know what I'm saying? You got people, you know what I'm saying, like us, man, flat earthers, people who research this stuff, man. All they do is get up and research the stuff for yourself, too. You ain't got to take advice from, you know what I'm saying, us or whatnot. You go look it up, you're gonna find the same thing. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people just sit back and wait for somebody to give them the information, just like NASA, just like the government. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And that's what happens. They hire these dudes like him. Now you know they paying him good as fuck. All he doing is going around the world being an ambassador selling heliocentrism, just like you got Jehovah Witness. Don't you know it when think about this, right? How did Jehovah's Witness get to be one of the most biggest Christian groups and they ain't even publicized like that? They go door for door on your ass. Guess what now? NASA do the same shit. They right in your community. That's what you call in the school system. So they programming right there in the school, right there when you cut the TV on, because they got a monopoly on what this genre called education and learning. To the point now, they starting to now they finna start shutting down on flat earth content. They got us labeled up on the fake news, you know, and they saying that fake news is becoming dangerous and the internet finna have to start having to regulate it. So we know that they the ones giving us the fake news, hyperspace, diamond planets, and all that. We coming along debunking it, saying, hey man, this fake shit they giving you, it ain't science, it's belief, and we gonna get silenced while the fake shit keep going. It's sad, it make me mad. That's why I go hard on these niggas so much, man. And then let me tell you why it's so hard to be a flat earther nowadays. I'm gonna pass the mic. You gotta worry about so many YouTube communities coming down your throat with this flat earth truth. Then you gotta worry about the big mainstream media. You don't know how much it is until you start getting big and popular with this shit. Then you start seeing how many people against the truth, boy. This is the broad path, man. This is what was getting motherfuckers killed right here, man. Flat earth, but dog, don't you know? Ain't been no other topic in the conscious community that received the kind of death threats flat earthers get. When I say everything received death threats, but the kind of death threats. If you just say if you in the conscious community and you believe in polygamy or whatever you believe in, you may receive a couple of death threats. Cool, we know that's normal. People console with you. They be like, that's fucked up. No matter if we disagree, you know, we shouldn't be threatened, brothers. Let me tell you something about flat earth. When people threat your life with flat earth, everybody else look at it like, yeah. Like, okay, yeah. It's normal to kill a flat earther. It's almost like you ain't a human. You just a flat earther. Why they living? Dude, the kind of shit what they say about flat earthers and it just get laughed off, whereas it would have been any other kind of, you know, we know flat earth ain't a belief system. But look how protective they are with Jewish beliefs. You know, anti-Semitic, they protect everybody's belief. Dude,
exactly.
Not with flat earth, dude. When you get, dude, they so relentless to flat earth. You know, it's crazy that if a flat earther would have really died based on a hate crime, nobody would give no fucks about that shit, man. Like, no, that's like, okay, like that's like saying a soldier died or from Hitler or something. One of the, you know, it's like the least cares, like saying like a motherfucker who's supposed to die died. That's the attitude of energy I get from certain people when it comes to flat earth. Like, you know, flat earthers have been threatening and shit all over the internet. We've been discriminated against in so many ways, seen and unseen. But all we doing is telling the truth, man, and we debunking La La Land, waking people up. Like what I just did today, it embarrassed that dude. And they don't want this kind of content online. They don't want to see their top scientists get embarrassed like that. When these videos start going viral, do you know people not only gonna resonate with the facts and the information, what it's gonna do to a person is they're gonna have a culture shock. They're gonna come over here and see something that they never saw before in their life. They're gonna come over here and see people actually laughing at their scientists. They're gonna come over here and see people actually making jokes of their scientists and making their scientists look like little foolish poodles. Like, they're gonna come over here and say, oh my God, he's really making Neil deGrasse Tyson look ooh, I never thought to question that. Like, wow, yeah, like, what makes him so smart? This is gonna be a new revolution of thinking of like, yeah, like, what makes you so smart? And after all, yeah, all you doing is making up shit. It's all belief, like diamond planners, and it's gonna be, and they don't want that. We're a culture shock over here, man. This flat power shit, a culture shock. People tune into these streams, they be like, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? You see, the energy different. It's militant, and we ain't playing with mainstream science. I fucks with y'all, man. Let me shut the hell up, cause damn, yeah, we just chilling out, man.
But that's what they do, man. When they know you winning, just like you say with the threats and all that, man, you know, you're gonna get that. When they know you winning and that movement is moving, you know what I'm saying? You already know any movement, man. They trying to shut that down. You know what I'm saying? No, there's no way. You know what I'm saying? We can have that. You see what I'm saying? You trying to change something. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we can't have that right now. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it always, you know what I'm saying? I used to be worried about you and still worried about you, bro, a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like how you be going hard, hitting them over the head and shit. You know what I'm saying? Knocking blood in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? But you know, because there's a lot of people out there, man, don't like this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's what it is, man. It's the truth, though. That's the thing about it, man. And that's why I look at it too. That's why I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Especially on my Facebook channel and everything. It's basically waking people up to that fucking common sense. Excuse my language. That's basically what it is, man. Half of that stuff you believe, man, if you basically, man, just use your own common sense, bro, half of that stuff don't even make sense to people. You see what I'm saying? It's like, man, no. You see what I'm saying? But most people, they too in tune and listening and getting information from, you know what I'm saying, just like the government, you know what I'm saying? Government and mental, you know what I'm saying? So they used to, and that's where the information trickle down to these days, from the school system, from the government to the school system, you see what I'm saying? We get it like that these days, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And only outside sources like things that we doing now, trying to free people up, you know what I'm saying, bring them back to their own, you know what I'm saying, divine divinity and trying to free their conscience up, you know what I'm saying, but there ain't too many, you know what I'm saying, of us, you know what I'm saying, out there like that, you know what I'm saying, we ain't like we're institutions, I mean, I wish we were, I wish we did have our own institutions, but then that would be a problem, because, you know what I'm saying, you know, I don't think we'd be able to exist here, you know what I'm saying, with that kind, you know what I'm saying, trying to tear down, you know what I'm saying, what's going on here, you know, but that's just how it is, you know, I don't know, you know.
No, you right, brother. I'm gonna tell you how the programming start, just like you said. You right. On a school level, this how they do it, right? Education system ain't what we need. Education system ain't nothing but a prison system. The word education just mean educe, and for you to be reduced, you got to be educed. In other words, for them to take away what you rightfully are in the cosmos and the power of who you are and the brilliance of what you are as a human and what this place is, they got to take you through an education system, and they got to educe you with the education. And once they educe you, then you become reduced, because everything that they induce into your mind, you believe about yourself, you believe about the creator, and based upon your belief, you go into this reality that's really not real. Like the space program and all that of a mischievous creator and a chaotic void that separated itself from his own creation. All of this stuff about you being born out of dust, and the dust had to form into something intelligent, and it's all an education school system.
Exactly. I remember when I was under it, man, everybody the same way. You turn to your friends, who do you believe in? Jesus Christ? Yep. Jesus Christ? Who do you believe in? Santa Claus? Everybody was on the same thing, like, damn, okay, if you say you wasn't under this or you didn't believe in this, something was wrong with you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But like you said, it was all from an early state of mind, you know what I'm saying? That's
and it's deep because...
And now,
yes,
oh, my bad, go ahead.
No, sir.
And now, if you look at it now, they tearing down all these castles that were schools. I mean, they used to have big, beautiful schools, right? They tearing them all down, and they rebuilding the inner city schools that look like prisons, right? If you go in there, They got the yellow line, they got the red line. They all got the same clothes on. So that's crazy that you said that a few minutes ago, because that's deep. But they tearing them down and they looking like prisons, man. These the elementary schools, man. Where the kids can't enjoy them big, beautiful school buildings they used to have, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that. Ever since I remember I was in preschool, and we all most of us started from kindergarten. I started from preschool. I went all the way through high school. But I saw how, because I used to go back and visit my elementary school, even when I got out of school. I'll go back and visit, and shit like that. And you can still, you have to go up for some reasons, you have to deal with other folks' children or stepchildren and stuff. You have to still go into them schools. But you will see how the evolution over time, how slowly but surely you see what it was all along, how these schools ain't nothing but they getting them ready for prison, man. Because the whole uniform code and the dick is how it's the same feel of a prison uniform with the whole prison, the school uniforms, and then you show up early in the fucking morning, got to deal with metal detection and bullies and fighting and bullshit like fashion and jokes. And man, these kids, dog, I know what it's like going through school when I was going through, and it's even worse today. So check this shit out, right? It's an education programming system, education system. They educing our children into a way of thinking, a way of living that's going to be self-destructive, right? And the crazy thing about it is, when you look at what school used to be in the ancient day, it was outside. It wasn't inside in the classroom. It was everybody outside. You was picking up plants. You was picking up shit. You was out there, and it wasn't broken up with bells ringing. When you got tired, you know what I'm saying? It was hold up a second.
Yep, I remember that. You're right. Yeah, I came up in the 80s. You're right. It was always outside.
But even back in the ancient day, that's what school was. It was outside learning, and then just in nature was the teacher. But the crazy thing about that, right? When they started lying about nature, teaching us unnatural things, they had to bring us inside of a building and make us look inside of a book with a script. Because really, this is what we doing when we go outside and learn in nature is medicine for the spirit. So the spirit grow with learning. So when you get disconnected from nature and you're not going outside learning like the people in the tribes and all of that, they take you in the classroom and they put nature in a book where they able to control what you know about nature and what you think about nature. Whereas if you was outside, you wouldn't need a book because nature is the book. You will go outside and you will look at the dirt. You will look at the roots. You look at the insects. You won't need a fucking book because you will be reading the plants. You're looking at how the ants build a house. You're looking at how the bees build they damn high. You don't need a book because now look, you open up a book and they show you all the pictures of the ants and the bees, but they got the text with it. The text is the script. They're prescribing your mind a reality and associating that reality to a picture that they're giving you in nature. But it's not the real reality and the way nature behaves. And see, that's the power of them, the classroom, the book, and taking our kids out from outside and putting them indoors with metal detectors, security guard. It's training them, getting ready for prison style. So, you know, it's so much that they're doing in this education system where they're educing the children. For example, when you was outside learning with the village, you didn't have to raise your goddamn hand to talk. Whoever was leading the children in the jungle, whoever was the elder leading those children, the children say, hey, daddy, so what this do? Hey, uncle, so what that do? You don't tell them raise your hand. That's some control shit. That's training them how to operate when they get behind bars to make the CO job a lot easier. They already getting them ready for prison now.
So, they think like this, man. They think ahead, man.
But you know what's so deep about it? You know what's so deep about it? I'm gonna say this and be quiet. The whole thing about raising your hand is cause think about it. When you go through that kind of programming of I raised my hand, the teacher called on me and I got it right. I got it right. When you wake up and find out everything you been taught is bullshit, you ain't gonna want to do away with it, man. Cause why? I raised my hand, dude. I got that right. What you talking about? Teacher said I was right, dude. I raised my hand. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's programming to that shit.
Hey, and on another note, boom, they take the fathers out of the household, right? To all these neighborhoods, right? Then they send them to school, right? And then it only be like one male in the whole building that's an adult. You might have 3 male teachers and a principal. The rest is female. So the men, they're not getting no type of guidance from a masculine source of energy for about 8-9 hours a day.
Facts.
That in itself is a thing. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
That's facts right there.
Like, cause when I went to school, like, we had male teachers, man. We had, like, cause I'm a little older, so I'm going to school with, like, 2-3 male teachers in every grade level. Man, not no more.
But think about it. We're all the smart men that we ain't talking about just men. We talking about the men that would be breaking down the secrets of nature. The men that would be teaching our children sacred geometry, magnetism, what's happening at the North Pole. Where are all these men? They are in the occult society.
Yeah.
That's what makes them. Yeah, they recruited all them into the occult schools. So you know, this is some deep shit. You know.
And they ain't hiring no more males about this school system because they know most males like us or whatnot who really on this shit or whatever in the school system, they're not going to put us in there. They put females in there because most likely females ain't on, like, not trying to be biased or whatnot. Most females ain't on this stuff like we on it. You see what I'm saying? So they just throw them in there as a teacher or whatnot. They going to go along with it. But us, we be in there secretly telling kids and stuff, other stuff. You see what I'm saying? And they don't want that shit. You see what I'm saying? Cause I know I'll be in there telling them other stuff. Like, man, you know what? I'll be teaching them one thing and something else. And I think that's what they're afraid of. So they keep the system exactly how they want it in place. You know what I'm saying? All, like you said, all the male teachers, whatever, they're in a cult and just female teachers. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Yep.
No male teachers no more. Not since the 90s. I had a few coming up in the 80s and the 90s, but after 95,
yeah,
I want to say, I ain't had no more male teachers.
See, I'm glad I'm building with you and Sir Drop. Shout out to my brother Sir Drop, HOTC, and shout out to Negroculus too on the panel. We getting it in. Guess what I just thought about, man? That was the whole thing about us learning in nature, outside. Because guess what? When you went out there, guess who was out there with the children, with the village? The mamas and the daddies and the elders, right? So check how deep that shit is. Balance right there. Well, nature is the real classroom, but when we left the nature's classroom, we entered this eduction system, this system of reducing you by educing you. And then they took and they got to divide and conquer. So they take the mama away, take the dad away, and they put some teacher there who already pre-programmed to give you a script. Tell you, you see what I'm saying? Paint reality for you. Now, the deep thing about it, right? When we was in the jungle, you learned the dual aspects of nature through mama and daddy, right? Because when you was outside, mama was attracted to the feminine aspect of nature. We call that the curvy aspect. You can see it in the flower spiral. You can see it in the way the water moves. You know, you can, all of these things, the woman man can tell you all about the seed, the plants, the water, all of this shit, right? And guess what? Dad, if they come tell you about the nature of rocks, wood, and all of this, it's like everything is so perfect, like how the masculine and feminine aspects of nature, how the dad is gonna teach you the masculine part and the woman gonna teach you you know what I'm saying, the feminine part, and that shit break down. Now you just get a imbalanced pseudoscience. It's just fucking chaos. Divide and conquer. Ain't shit balanced. And this science, man, I'm telling you, it's our biggest enemy, because the foundation of all the laws that's taking away our rights and all of this shit and disconnecting us with our environment. You can't collect rainwater, man. But see, they got all of these laws because of us, our ignorance. Over time, we voted for certain shit because we think that they knew more about the earth than us. We trusted them. We said, yeah, man, well, hey, there must be some kind of radiation coming in fucking with the air, so don't do this or don't do that. Or don't, you know what I mean? This world is created by your belief in these people, but you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, man. Like, damn. But you know, I know I don't want to keep the stream going too long. We at 2 hours now, so what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let y'all brothers say whatever y'all want to say before we get out of here, man.
Yeah, I got one thing, man. I like but you explained it before, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a fan of pretty much everything you do, but yeah, and like I be in the panel, man, you know what I mean? Everything makes sense, man. It is almost like, man, what I read in Walter Williams, man, historical origins, man. Like nobody came here looking for a creator or creator, because if you didn't know him or her, you wouldn't already be here. You know what I'm saying? It's almost impossible, just like you said, bro. It's impossible for us to figure this shit out. It was never meant for us to figure. That's why we only can speculate, like theorize, and you know what I'm saying? Like who I know is the big. You know what I'm saying? Just like we both have the same concept. It is a creator. There's no way. Just like man and woman, or whatever. It's we don't know who it is. I don't know who it is, or him or her or it. I don't know, but I know. It has to be. You see what I'm saying? There's no way this shit just started on its own. You see what I'm saying? But
and what's even deeper than that, on the whole creative thing, here go the whole concept to it. He wasn't creating. He always, or she always, or it always, or whatever verb we can do that is registered blank, always existed, and stuff is manifested from it. So I don't believe there's a beginning. I don't believe, because then you would have to explain who created the creator. That's why I don't think it's a beginning.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You got hard tell your mind is telling you, and I feel you on that. You know what I'm saying? Because your mind is like, bro, you can't think of it. Yeah, I feel you, bro.
Now the ending. Alright. You can't destroy energy. So now that we know we like 30% energy, like 70% water, and you know what I'm saying, whatever the numbers is. If you can't destroy the energy that moves the bones, no kind of way, that means everybody been here forever. So until that puts the energy that we're coming from die out, it's gonna be forever, man. You can't kill it off. There's nothing you can do. That's just my belief.
I totally agree with you. I think, man, everything is like the sun. Yeah, I know they say day and night. You know what I mean? The sun don't go down, or it just rotates above us. We all know that. All this life is one life at one time. You know what I'm saying? You look at the sun in a picture 40 years ago, it's the same sun. The moon back 40 years ago in the picture, it's the same moon. All this one life happening at one time. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I can agree.
Just like I caught my grandma and my granddaddy in their 70s, whatever, and I grew up 30. I basically in their same lifetime as them. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's just all in one time. You see what I'm saying? Basically,
it's
you know, that's how I look at it.
It is. It's very deep. It's very interesting. I like what you said, man. The quote from Walter Williams. No one come here looking for a creator, because if we didn't know the creator, we wouldn't have got here in the first place. That's something to ponder on, and we'll leave y'all with that powerful quote from the great Walter Williams. And, stay tuned. We'll be back with more heat, man, because it's a lot of deception to expose. Shout out to my brother, Back to Your Roots. I'm going to let my panelists go on ahead and get up out of here so I can shut down the stream and everything. Shout out to y'all again, Sir Drop and Negroculus. Appreciate y'all, brothers, man.
Man, I'm about to get back to the outer net. I was on the internet, now I'm back to the outer net. You know, real life situation, period. And y'all be easy, man.
Alright.
Yeah, y'all too, man. I'll see y'all later. I'll catch y'all on the next time or Thursday night, bro. Sanchez. Until then, it's back to storing Jesus, man. I'll holler at y'all.
Alright, my brothers. Y'all be safe, man. Much love. Hey, to everybody out in the chat room, y'all be safe. I love all of y'all, man. Shout out to all of y'all moderators, to everybody in the chat that tuned into the show. I see you. Katina Newton, Lady Legs, Flat Logic, Just Me, Rick Bugatti, Madon came through. Got TRFTR Gaming, Cat's Eyes. Shout out to Sister Sassy. I ain't heard from her in a while. Shout out to her. Shout out to Toro Bravo, Flat Plane, Mr. P. I ain't gonna forget about you. Shout out to my brother Light Work. And back to your roots, bro. Hit me up. Hit me up. My brother, hit me up. And it's big shout out to my brother Backpack Zoe. And Flat Motherfucking Power. Shout out to my brother Quentin Johnson. What happened to your wrench, Quentin? Let me give you a wrench. Christian Make Move. Inquisitive Bunny. Everything's Love. Shout out to all of y'all. Shantae. All of my moderators. Appreciate all of y'all help. Darling Flat Earth, I see you. Billy Sanchez. Luna Moon, appreciate that. To another hot stream. Yeah, I think I may go ahead and rewatch this one myself, man, when I ain't doing something, huh? Give me something to do. Shout out to Misael, only the wise. Hey, peace out, guys. Peace and much love.